for it, that she had this facility in her own head. She would hear the story, she would see what was going on, she could smell what was going on, and then she just allowed it to happen.
And happen it did. 6,000 words a day. It made her a fortune, and in wartime Britain kept her publishers going.
To the author, from an admiring and awestruck publisher. He will have had his bank statement in his left hand when he said this, I've no doubt, and wrote it. EVR, 30th of the 10th of 1942.
Paper shortages and the rest of it, and yet produced beautifully, fantastic binding, Sangorski and Sutcliffe, top-of-the-line binding. These are publishers, as Andrew says, who really want to express their appreciation, because this woman, she's a one-woman industry.
This says Harrods. This is her beautiful fur coat. We have a pile of them. And, of course, when you do it posh, you have your initials embroidered in the lining. There we are, Enid, Mary, Darrell, Walters. And that's it. That's her.
Right, now the 10 o'clock news is coming up in just a moment. But first, let's look at the weather with Rob McElwee.
Hello, there are warnings galore. Those warnings are following a swathe of pretty active, pretty heavy rain. It's been around all day, as you know, if you're watching in Northern Ireland or in Cornwall. And the reason being, well, although there's wind ahead of it, there's nothing driving it behind. The isobars are tight here, so a screaming gale over Highland Scotland and loads of rain over England, Wales and Northern Ireland. The warnings last all night, but the area will change as the rain moves in. It's all for heavy rain, anything up to 2 inches. On the mountains, more than that. If you like, it's about that much, all falling pretty quickly. You can imagine at least some road flooding. This is the rain belt moving northwards. Below it, or after it's gone through, things are much drier until the showers start. And in all areas, it's relatively mild. This is how you start Tuesday at 12 to 14 degrees, which for a September morning is pretty good. Now, on Tuesday itself, the rain has shifted further north, but the pattern's the same. The winds are strongest before the rain gets to you, so if you're north of it, in Scotland, the winds more or less die out after it's gone through. So here's your screaming southeasterly across the northern Pennines and Scotland in general, high and low land. The rain itself leaves England late morning, and then the showers develop, quite big showers, rain, hail, thunder, all possible during the afternoon, but there'll be some nice warm sunshine between, and the wind, though noticeable, is far less strong, and it's from the southwest, not from the southeast. 19 to 21 degrees, 21 if you want a reminder is 70 Fahrenheit, so again, fairly promising, and in the sunshine, without the breeze, if you're in shelter, it'll feel good. These blobs suggest heavy showers. This is persistent rain for Dundee and areas northwards up to the Granite City. If you're in the northwest Highlands, you might get a bit of sunshine, certainly a bit of shelter, but it won't be very warm. For Northern Ireland, not a bad afternoon, more promising than was the earlier forecast, showers rather than persistent rain. And for Wales, the showers develop. They float around in fairly light winds. Again, they could be heavy. Rain, hail, possibly thunder, but with warm sunshine between. Now, we're in Wednesday, Thursday territory. The low is still there and still driving the weather in general, but the isobars are tight now only over the Northern Isles, so wind isn't the story. On Wednesday, slow-moving showers. That's the story. And this here, this arm of what could be persistent rain poking up just the west of London. Position could be wrong. There's no certainty, but it seems quite likely. On Thursday, there's no evidence of that. What you look to is down here, a running wave, if you like. So it's running along these tracks, the isobars. It'll come in later in the day. Before it gets there, Thursday is a quiet day of sunshine and showers. An easy forecast. Can't be specific, but you may well get a shower. By the end of the day, though, the rain is running in. And that's the position for Friday. Early Friday, the rain will be running across the southern counties of England. Otherwise, we think sunshine and showers. And there's still some warmth potentially there, 21 or 22. Pretty good still for a September day.
Tonight at 10, Scotland Yard considers new allegations of phone hacking at the News of the World. Andy Coulson, the paper's former editor, now one of David Cameron's top advisers, faces calls for his resignation. The pressure builds from Labour MPs for a new inquiry into the hacking of voicemails of prominent figures.
The integrity of our democracy is under scrutiny around the world, Mr. Speaker. The Home Secretary must not join the conspiracy to make it a laughingstock.
It is for the Metropolitan Police on an operational matter to decide what the right course of action is.
We'll have the details, and we'll be asking if a new investigation is likely. Also tonight, police investigating the death of MI6 worker Gareth Williams released CCTV images and appeal for more information. In Antrim, a primary school is evacuated when a boy finds a pipe bomb in the playground.
Just got off my bike, then just touched it to see if it was okay or not. Then it was okay, so I just lifted it up.
In Pakistan, people returning home find more destruction as the floodwaters recede. And seen for the first time in 70 years, this colour footage of London in the years of the Blitz.
Coming up in Sports Day later, a roundup of all of today's news, including Rooney is set to start against Switzerland, as Capello's confident his key striker is fully focused.
Good evening. Labour is demanding that police reopen their investigation into alleged phone hacking by reporters from the News of the World. The Metropolitan Police has confirmed today that new lines of inquiry have emerged. Labour has also called on David Cameron to sack his Director of Communications, Andy Coulson, who's a former editor of the News of the World. Mr Coulson has consistently denied any knowledge of the practice while he was in charge. Our Deputy Political Editor, James Landale, has the latest.
It's a story of phone hacking involving the police, the royal family and Rupert Murdoch's biggest-selling Sunday newspaper. A story that today is firmly at the door of number 10. At its heart is this man, Andy Coulson, one of David Cameron's closest advisers, but once the editor of the News of the World. Mr Coulson resigned in 2007 after his royal reporter, Clive Goodman, was convicted of illegally listening into people's voicemail messages. Mr Coulson insists he was not aware of what was going on. But one of his former employees, Sean Hoare,